think in my youth I was quite arrogant, and I needed something that kind of I thought would, where my talents meet my ambition. But I have to say that it is quite a challenge to create a watch brand from the beginning, and sitting here 22, 23 years later, I think I'm a lot more humble now in terms of the journey that you have to go on. Originally it was skiing in Switzerland.
Okay.
Which
Where?
is what
Where?
Well, when I was small, I went with my parents to St. Moritz and other places in Switzerland. My father was also in the watch industry.
Okay.
But the inspiration comes from the mountains and the sea.
Yeah.
And the original idea was to have mechanical timepieces with digital instruments that we attached on top. And also, being Danish, the cultural design aspect of it means that you combine form and functionality. Mm-hmm. And I think in the design that we have, which if you can call it design, a lot of it originates in the form or functionality of the case. Mm-hmm. That we needed to put an instrument on, and hence all this with the ankles. We were very much aware that we didn't want to have anything which was Danish design, which I think is very minimalist. Mm-hmm. White, black, mm-hmm. Everything pared down to the essence of it, and I think a watch should not be like that. I think there's a lot more into it. Yeah. So I think it's sort of a minimalist, maximalist attitude to it. Well, I was thinking about it. I think that we never had a success with a red watch. Okay. And and there's these sort of famous Daytonas. Yeah. With the red sock dials and so on, which I think are very cool. But we've done a number of red watches over the years, and they're absolute. People don't like them, so we've given up on red.
Do you feel any difference between the different countries, cultures?
No doubt about that. Then maybe I would say also that generally I think people underappreciate the spider light. Mm-hmm. And I get that more people prefer the octopus, and they like the spider lights, but maybe it's sometimes a little bit too intricate for their taste. They put it on and then maybe they go for an octopus instead.
Okay, because it's more subtle, more thin.
Yeah, I can't really say.
Okay. That's interesting, because it's a stunning piece, and yeah.
I think when we made the first one in 2009, which was actually it was this one, which we did a movement with Sven Andersen, the Danish mm-hmm. movement of watchmaker. I thought that was our breakthrough model, because we were in Basel in 2009, and that was the watch people came to see. Mm-hmm. And it was completely different price range that we originally started in. Our original watches were in steel cases with ETA movements. They were priced at that time, we're talking 2007, 2008, at about, say, 4,000 Swiss. Okay. The Swiss franc versus the other currencies were different then. This one we did at about 10 Swiss, which were completely new for us. But we sold 44 pieces being like this.
What came into this change from the brand being at around 4,000 Swiss, now going up to 10, 15,000 Swiss? What was this path?
It's, we were new. Yeah. More than we quote unquote, we knew nothing. Yeah. And obviously, I came from a family of, watch retailers and jewelry, but honestly, we knew nothing about what we were doing. Mm. So you start in one spot and you learn over time. And I think there's sort of a famous saying that you need 10,000 hours before you actually know what you're doing. And I think that's very true. Maybe in watchmaking you actually need 20,000 hours. Mm-hmm. And still 20 something years later, still learning. Mm-hmm. But I think that you kind of, at the beginning you try this, then you try that, maybe a little bit of this, you go there, and sort of see, is there anything that sticks here? Yeah. right? And that stopped. And then when we came back from Basel, we sort of, okay, this is what we're going to do. Right?
Yeah, and the world changes, and the taste changes, and the environment changes, so you have to adapt to that as well, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You have to go the journey with your fan base and your customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I mean, as we can have a whole different 2-hour podcast about, what has happened in the last 20 years, right? It was certainly a very dynamic part of commerce, if that's the word, right? I think that's for me, sometimes it feels unappreciated how much effort we put in terms of thinking about what we want to give our client. I know it sounds sort of slightly cliche, yeah, of course you would say that kind of shit, right? But there is a lot of energy and a lot of thinking and a lot of discussions and talks with also our partners. I told you about some meetings I had 2 days ago, which I find very interesting. So I think maybe that kind of is the effort sometimes when people may look at a timepiece and think, oh, it's only about the status of it.
Yeah.
And that I can understand, but I don't agree with it.
I would say exactly as well. Our mission as Press Your Watch Lounge to introduce exactly this about the watch brands, what you are doing, and especially if you look at your watches, they have so many details and so much know-how in this craftsmanship, which needs to be explained, and it's completely different to a lot of many other brands in the industry.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.